Greetings everybody, my name is Tommy the Game Master and welcome to my channel. Well, the Steam Summer Sale is on, so as usual I do a few videos about it each year, talking about the deals and talking about what I purchased, whether I got a good deal or whether I decided to return to the Steam store. So far I've bought 4 games, and I think I've gotten somewhat good deals. All these games I've been playing are games that I don't think I would have picked up at full price nor would recommend picking up at full price, but with the deals on the Steam store, they might be worth going through. I've only returned one game so far, and that one game kind of surprised me. So anyways, let's take a look at the about 4 games I purchased so far. First is the Curse of Monkey Island, and I'm sorry if I don't have any footage of it. It runs on some sort of Scum emulator, which Scum Engine is the name of the engine they use for the old Monkey Island, so it uses an emulator that won't allow me to really record it. I'll have to figure out if I ever want to do a review of the game, but so far it's a fantastic point-and-click adventure. If you're into some really tricky puzzles and a really funny storyline, you gotta check out the Monkey Island series. If you like the Pirates of the Caribbean Disney movies, you should definitely check it out, because there's plenty of things in these games that helped inspire that movie franchise. And I am glad that Disney kind of released this on Steam, even though it didn't get the HD package that the first 2 games in the series got, and it does need a little cleaning up. The second game I purchased was Street Fighter V, the arcade edition. Now, when Street Fighter V first released, it was basically everything that I hate about modern day games. Okay, you paid $60, you only got a few characters, you didn't get much of a package with promises of more DLC, some of it free, some of it not for anyone who picked it up. And when you compared it to like Street Fighter 4, what you got in its original package, it seemed like kind of a dud. So I'm kind of glad I waited for the arcade edition and waited for a sale. There's still plenty of things here that piss me off. The fact that you have to unlock characters either by paying real money or by grinding endlessly either on story mode or on versus mode really does tick me off. That said, the combat engine is great. They fixed some of the things that ticked people off on 4. You can no longer charge and knock people down, which I kind of like that in 4, but I can understand why the professional players kind of hated that charge technique. They also got rid of the ultra combos in exchange for the V system, which is much easier to use. So overall I had fun, and for those who are worried about one player, they also added in several arcade modes that mimic classic Street Fighter games. They even have comic book style endings to the Street Fighter series. I prefer the original endings that the actual arcade versions gave, but overall this seems to be a fantastic pickup for about 25 bucks. I do believe that's what I paid for it. Then I got Final Fantasy VII, and this is the one I returned, guys. And I'll be honest with you, if you don't own a PlayStation, especially a PlayStation 4, pick this one up. It's not a bad game. It's just not a really good port of it. They did decent with the visuals and everything, but rather than porting a PlayStation version over to the PC, they just upgraded the original PC version, which had tons of problems. Now, I've heard they fixed most of these problems. They probably certainly fixed the Chocobo racing crash that made it impossible to get through the Windows version without it crashing. But still, some of the things don't really run smoothly in this game. And to top it off, rather than getting an actual control layout, you get here like either push button 1 or push the OK button rather than an actual button on the control pad. Final Fantasy 8 and 9 HD did not have this problem, even though 8 had a PC port. So going with the original Eidos PC port I thought was a bad move, Square Enix. So I returned it. I'll probably pick up the HD version of Final Fantasy VII on the PlayStation 4 when I see that it's on sale there. Just judging from the footage, I think that's a better HD upgrade. Still, Steam version isn't bad, worth picking up for that price. if you're a PC only kind of person. I just see the PlayStation 4 being a better deal for me, so not going to get it on Steam. Then I got Final Fantasy VI, and I picked this one up expecting to actually return it after playing through and finding out that I hated it. I actually kind of enjoyed this version. Don't get me wrong, a lot of the criticisms are spot on. Square Enix needs to go through and change a few things in this HD port. I wouldn't mind to have a few more filtering options because they do go overboard with the HD filter. However, unlike Chrono Trigger, which they just applied the filter and then they also changed the resolution to be where it's only cell phone and you can tell, making my eyes bleed, here it seems like they redrew most of the sprites. And they redrew them to kind of make them look like the Final Fantasy VI instruction booklet, at least the PlayStation 1 version instruction booklet of the characters. And I kind of think they look nicer and even nicer than the Super Nintendo version. Speaking about that, it has a better dub than the Super Nintendo version. And for those who disagree with me, if you can tell me who the hell this Vix character is and why he goes with Wedge other than Biggs and Wedge, which is actually a funny Star Wars joke, then I'll concede that the Super Nintendo version had a better dub. And yes, I know they censored a scene in the game that was in the original Super Nintendo version, but you can thank the fact that the Japanese got an ESRB kind of similar to our own, and Square Enix wants a certain age rating for these games. So to put that in there would increase the age rating, and it still functions as a game by taking it out. Similar to why Will Turner doesn't point his gun in his head in Kingdom Hearts 2 during the Pirates of the Caribbean section. That would have upped the rating to probably teen rating, and Disney wants to keep the Kingdom Hearts down as an E rating, so that's why there. Overall, what I played of this game, I'm going to enjoy it. I look forward to playing both the Super Nintendo version on my SNES Mini as well as the Steam version and comparing them. I think it would be a fun thing to do, fun video to do. So those are my pickups so far when it comes to what I played in the Steam store. Street Fighter V Arcade Edition, worth picking up for $25. I wouldn't pay more for it. Certainly would not have bought in the original version for $60 all those years ago for what it contained. Curse of Monkey Island looks like it's going to be a really great game. Was surprised that I liked Final Fantasy VI more than I did, and that it returned 7. I really am. I might check out Final Fantasy V depending on how much money I have to budget in. There are other games I want to pick up. I will start also looking at re-editing some of my old footage and putting out what old sales that are still the same price, Dust and Elysian Tale, probably the same price, etc., and re-editing those together. And then I'll try, if I have time, to put out some new sales and new price information for games that I played in the last year that I think people should pick up for Steam Summer Sale. Anyways, this is Tommy the Game Master thanking you for listening to his rants. I'll see you guys later.